Hi everyone, this is Prashad Parthiban. Today I am going to talk about difference between statement of values versus loss runs. These two documents are critical documents when it comes to commercial insurance. So you might have seen people talking about I have received SOV from the broker for a particular customer. Similarly, you might have been seeing I have to load this loss runs automatically into the risk analysis, etc. etc. So it's very important to understand the difference between these two documents. So to start with, what do you mean by statement of values? As per the definition, this is the document that lists the insured's property and their values and the details. For example, if you are giving insurance for a commercial property, then the statement of values are going to have their building details, how many locations they have, what is the total insured value for each building, etc. etc. That way, the insurance company can determine the appropriate limit for the particular customer, right? It's getting the details about the customer and their things like locations, building, etc. Whereas loss runs are going to be a report that shows the insured's past loss history, like most probably 3 to 5 years, sometimes 10 years, because that particular customer may have insurance policy with the different insurance companies down the line. So whenever a broker comes to us and asks for a new policy, the first thing the insurance company is going to ask is, give me a loss run report. So the broker is going to run that loss run report. That report is going to have typically all the past claims that this particular customer had with any insurance company, not only with this insurance company. So this is the primary difference. As I told you, the use is, why do we need this, right? It is used to determine the property coverage limits and premiums, right? Like if that particular customer had 20 buildings, whereas the other customer has 5 buildings, then the limits will vary, the premium will vary. So this is very important for us to know. Most of the insurance companies, they try to automate this process. For example, once they get the statement of values, they have an automation process to load this automatically into any policy administration system so that there is no manual entry to avoid any clerical errors. The same thing is applicable for loss runs. It is also used to analyze the claims experience and then access risk, right? If you have a customer who had too many number of claims, then the insurance company may charge them more, right? Or if it has less number of claims, then the premium will be less. Even a lot of insurance companies are trying to automate this process of loading these loss runs automatically into policy administration system. And pretty much it represents the current values, right? As I told you, whatever the current value of the building or location or the properties or personal properties, all those things will be documented in the statement of values so that the insurance company can determine the appropriate limits and premium. Whereas in case of loss runs, it's always historical, right? What are the historical claims information so that we can determine the appropriate premium. Good example is commercial property, right? If you take loss, when you take statement of values, it will have all the building values, limits, etc. Whereas in case of loss runs, it's same for commercial property, it will have the historical claims, how many number of claims we had, what kind of reserves the insurance company set for these claims, what is the criticality of the claims, entire detail about the claims so that the current insurance company can determine the appropriate premium and coverage for those customers. In short, statement of values is nothing but a document that contains the details about the insured. It can be a building or their location so that the insurance company can determine the appropriate limits and premium. Whereas when you take loss runs, it's nothing but a report that contains their past losses. To be claims from any insurance company so that the insurance company can determine the appropriate premium. Sometimes if it's too many number of claims, they may even decline the coverage for that particular customer. Once again, thank you so much for your continuous support. Have a great day. Bye-bye.